welcome back to my channel. So today's video, because I've not really seen any UK makeup artists do it, I'm going to be a full in-depth review on the new Jeffree Star Cremated palette. And so yeah, I've not really seen many UK makeup artists try it, so I thought we'll give it a go today and do some nice smoky looks with it and see where we go from there. So let's crack it open and get started. So pulling the palette out. We've got all of these gorgeous colours, which are definitely not me. However, I've seen people do looks with it and I just thought, do you know what? I'm going to buy it. As you can see, obviously this is a very grey tone palette, which is definitely not my vibe. I'm totally used to more the whole jawbreaker aspect of life. And I wasn't initially planning on buying it. However, with some of the looks I've seen people do, like the Mitchell and Nikki tutorials, are really started to fall in love with it. So I thought I'd do two different looks for you on... I thought I'd do two different looks for you on camera today. I'm going to do one side that's a lot more dark and smoky with all the blacks and the greys, and then the other side I'm going to keep more neutral, sort of soft bridal glam, which is definitely not me. So before I get started in the eye looks, I'm going to swatch a few of my favourite shades. I'm going to swatch 3 shimmers, 2 mattes, whatever I fancy. I'm like... The first shade I'm going to swatch is called Hearse, and it is just a matte black. And as you can see, it does show up quite nicely, nice and fully matte. Oh, it's not even a full matte black actually, it's more of a really dark grey. And then I'm going to swatch the colour next to it, which is called Angel of Death, which is a shimmery black. Ooh, that is very, oh, that is wet, that looks really wet. Then I'm going to go in with Inheritance, which is more of a greeny brown. I'll do another swatch of that, just so you can see the colour really nicely. It's more of a khaki sort of brown, that colour. And then this is the shade Last Respect, which is almost a similar sort of toned brown, but it's a little bit more grey. That's a really nice light grey. And then my probably favourite colour in the palette, Diamonds Ashes. Oh! Yeah. I want to swatch another one of those shades actually. And I think this is everyone else's favourite shade in the palette. This is Pallbearer. I'm just going to put that on the bottom of... Oh my god, again. Those... Look at that finish. Wow. That is gonna look so nice on the eye. So the first shade I'm going in with is Gravedigger, and I'm just gonna run that through the crease and start to wing it out as almost like a liner. Oh, and you can see straight away that is really pigmented. And this is just a nice matte dark grey. Almost has a little bit of a blue tone. You told me you believe in something and you said... And I'm just going to take this on the inside and the outside corner and just start to blend that in. The thing is, especially with blacks and greys, these sort of colours can be really hard to A, make and B, blend together because they're so cool tone. Black and grey, obviously the coolest of cool tones you can get. Just take your time with it because they will look oh yeah, wow, this is going to be a gorgeous look. You can tell. It looks shocking at the moment, but just work with it and build it up. One thing I will mention as well, there is a mentionable amount of fallout in the pan. It's nothing ridiculous, but you can see there is a little bit. I don't mind personally, but I know some people really against fallout in the pan because it obviously can fall out on your face. But if you're that concerned, do your face makeup last and then you'll be fine. So now that I've got that nice and blended out into this winged cat eye sort of shape, I'm going to go in with the shade Wednesday and just blend on those edges as well. This one has a little bit less fallout than the first one. Come back when you're older. Go catch the storm within your broken bones and be wild. And now for my outermost colour, I'm going to take the shade Life Insurance and I'm just going to run that along the edges again. And I'm going to take this a little bit towards my nose contour as well, just because that's the way I like to look. So I'm just going to go back in with the previous shades and then I'll come back. Quick note I just want to add is when I'm going back in with my darker colours, they aren't going patchy and sticking to each other. As you can see, they are really building up again really nicely. So that's a nice thing to note because especially with these sort of colours, when you're going in with the same sort of colour over and over again, they do tend to stick to each other and not blend really nicely. But as you can see, I'm just really being able to build up the colours really nicely and like gradually add, take away, etc. And the last shade I'm going to take on my crease colours is the shade Hearst, which is the darkest shade in the palette. And I'm just going to take that very, very tightly on the inner and outer corner and just blend that out into my wing shape. And this is really going to like add a lot of dimension. And this again is like building up really nicely. It's not sticking, I'm not getting any patchiness. Oh, that's really intense actually. And you can see it's got like full pigment straight away. There's nothing worse than when you have like a black eyeshadow and it's not black. Obviously, it wouldn't really make a difference anyway in this palette because it's full of greys. However, especially in this sort of palette, when it is full of all these darker shades, you need like a standout black to add your dimension and deepen it up a bit. And as you can see, this shade is doing just that. So I've just lined my waterline with my MAC Cosmetics black liner, and I'm going to take the shade Solemnly Swear and just run that along the bottom lash line. And then obviously, as you can see, I've left out this full centre bit here, and that's because I'm going to add a load of shimmer there. So the first shade I'm going to take is Pallbearer, and it does pick up on the brush, which is lovely. I'm just going to add that to the... Oh! Okay. Okay. I'm just going to top it all in this blank space. Oh, wow, that is stunning. All in this blank space. And this is obviously just going to create that nice halo. And that does really, really, really look wet on camera. Oh, stunning. I feel like Monique Hart. Grey shadow. Stunning. And as you can see, that is like, that does look super, super wet on the eyes as well. And it picks up with the brush really nicely, which is handy because I hate having to go in with my finger because it's not precise at all. And then on top of that, because I'm extra, I'm going to take the shade Diamonds Ashes and I'm just going to run that right up the centre. And that's going to really lift and pull that bit forward too. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh wow. Summer's end and you feel bad. And then to finish this eye off, I'm just going to go in with the same shade, Diamond Ashes, just right on my inner corner. And that's going to really, really, hopefully, highlight my inner corner. Lovely. Yeah. So I've just popped on a lash. I've used a mix of my fucking lashes FLE and added a couple of strips of FLD on the outer edge to like bring it out a little bit more. And then I'm going to start off with the other side of my eye, going for the more bridal, neutral glam, sort of using like these tones instead. So I'll be back with the first step. Cheers. So I'm really enjoying these sort of like almost greeny toned brown greys because they're not your typical like neutral brown, and they've got obviously a little bit of a different toning. So I'm going to use a couple of those shades on this eye and obviously give you more of like everyday look if this wasn't everyday enough for you. I'm first going to use the shade, we're going with Inheritance, and I'm just going to run that nice and lightly through my crease and see where we get from there. I'm like that. Oh yeah, gorgeous, flattering. This is sort of going on in like almost two different tones. So like the very darkest bit is like darker than the blended out area, if that makes sense. We can see like it doesn't come up as green on the eyes as I thought it would, which I'm kind of liking because I feel like it fits more with the whole vibe. Like it still does have definitely that green grey tone as opposed to the true grey. However, there we go. Oh, there's a mistake. Yeah, we love those. They're our favourites. Again, this is one of those shades that did have like quite a bit of like kickback in the pan. You can't really tell on camera, but it's not leaving any fallout on my face. As the same with this side, like I've had no fallout whatsoever, which is good because then it means obviously it is only going to be in the pan and you can sort of do your eyes last, which I don't normally do, but clearly today we're bending the rules. The next shade I'm going to go in with is Last Respects, which is this like muted sort of greeny grey. And I'm just going to really lightly blend out the edges with that shade. This has like, I'll show you because this is mentionable. that kicked up like a lot in the pan. But like I said, it doesn't bother me too much, so I'm not too bothered. And this isn't as light as I thought it was gonna be. Remember when you told me you believe. I can almost see, like, as I put it on, it's like definitely covering the last colour while still like blending into it, which is handy because it means you can sort of tone down. I keep putting that mirror right in front of my eyeball. Well, I mean, it looks really dark in person to me, but then I look on the camera and I'm like, actually, well, no, this is black and this is clearly not black. So then just for my very outside, I'm just going to use very outside. That makes no sense. I forgot what I was going to say now. Just to blend out the previous shade, I'm going to use the shade Burial Gown, which is a little bit grim, but hey ho, that's a really nice light, almost like a bone colour. And Jeffree's bony, like white matte colours are always really nice, so this is no surprise that it's blending out really, really nicely. And then I'm just going to go back in with the shade Inheritance just to like reinforce that colour and bring back that almost green tone because I've kind of lost it a little bit. But you can see, like, again, these build up on themselves really nicely. It's not just like lifting any colour and disappearing, which is handy. And it's really brought that like almost, obviously it's not dark compared to the other side, but if I cover that, it's like going towards a smoky vibe, which is fine by me. So I'm just going in with a little tiny bit of blank canvas from P. Louise, and I'm just going to like almost cut the crease, but I'm not cutting the crease because I don't want it to be too sharp. I want it to be really soft, so I'm going to like blend out those edges really nice. Catch the storm within your broken... itchy face. Really bad. There we go. And then I'm just going to take the shade Last Respect again, just to blend in that outside corner. Now I'm just taking the shade Mausoleum, is that right? Yeah. Just on the very outside corner, and this is like almost like a bronze, but it's very like brown grey tone. It's just adding a little bit of shimmer. It's obviously not as intense as the new metallic formula, but it's still like a really nice addition to the palette. And then I'm gonna go in with Afterlife. Very good program if anyone's watched it. Just all over the lid. Oh, this is like the perfect bridal colour. Like, look at that. Neo white, very nude. And then to finish off my left eye, I'm literally just going to take the shade Death Blow. Wow, sounds like a fun way to die. And I'm just going to tap that right on the... Oh, she's nice and bright and white. Tap that on my inner corner. And, oh yeah, she is a lovely matte, very, very nice matte white. Draws a lot of attention. And so that, guys, is my two separate sides of obviously using the Cremated palette. Personally, I won't get that much use out of it because I tend to gravitate towards brighter colours. However, this is going to be like perfect for clients, especially for things like this. This is very bridal prom glam, which is obviously like what the clients go for usually. However, this side is clearly not your everyday glam and it's very more me. The textured shimmer shades are like the stars of the show for this palette, especially like these two shades, Diamond Ashes and Pallbearer. They just really catch the light really nicely and they do look really wet on the eyes. And I'm saying I won't get much use of it, however, it's nice to add these sort of tones which I don't have, and hopefully seeing more looks will obviously make me create with it more. So let me know down below in the comment section which eye is your favourite. I mean, personally, this one's definitely doing it a lot more for me. However, obviously I know everyone has different tastes and there'll be people who can't stand this bad boy. Please leave a like, don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell wherever it may be. I'm just going to point around the camera because I don't know where it is right now. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.